Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new video. And today we're doing something a little bit different. We are going to be ranking my prediction personally on the NFL season total wins for each team in a combination of 0 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 12, and 13 to 17 wins on the season. And I'll give you my Super Bowl prediction winner at the end of this video here as well. Kind of get into some details on how I feel about some different teams and how they're going. I think I'm going to be also taking a different route here with the channel, doing some more of my, obviously gaming is my number one priority of my channel here, but also I think I really want to also get into some sports talk. So I think this is going to be something fun, something different to do. And yeah, obviously the editing on this video also won't take us too long as normal, but hey, that's all right. I enjoy it. And it's a lot of fun. Let's do something different. What I'll do is I'll kind of give my opinion on each team here, how I feel what they'll be on the season. I think I don't know how I want to really if I just want to go. I'll do my Cowboys. I mean, if you don't know me personally, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. Just go ahead and roast me. It's okay. I try not to be biased. I can be. Cowboys fans. They're pretty biased. I'll believe it. Sometimes I'll be biased, but either way, I still love my team and I'll defend them till I die. So anyway, let's get into the video here. Let's get started on. I don't know how I really want to do this. Do I want to do this by divisions? I think I might do that. I don't know if I want to do random. I don't know. I feel like division. You know what? Yeah, we'll just go by random. I'm just gonna pick a different team, and you know what? Let's spin a wheel. Let's do that. All right. So our first team that we are going to rank will be the Chicago Bears. What a fun team this could honestly be. Rookie Washington receiver that they drafted. Keenan Allen coming from the Chargers. I mean, of course, you got DJ Moore. I mean, Caleb Williams has lots of mouths to feed. Don't even sleep on my boy Cole Kmet. A great tight end, in my opinion. Justin Fields and him were a really great connection. I still don't know how I feel about Chicago getting rid of Justin Fields, but we're really going to see. But I think with a tough NFC North division, I haven't really looked at anybody's schedules, of course, besides my own Dallas Cowboys. But really, I think I'm going to put the Bears a 6 to 8 season total win. They will miss the playoffs, but they're a young team. I think they have a lot of potential. And I think that offense, like I just said, it's going to be fun to watch, and I honestly cannot wait to watch them. Bears, 6 to 8. All right, next up, the team that we will be picking here will be one of the worst teams in football, the Carolina Panthers. So the Panthers, I don't even know. They got Deontay Johnson. I mean, a great receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers who wasted his entire career almost there, I feel like. He definitely doesn't deserve to be on the Panthers, in my opinion. I don't think a lot of other people do, of course. But one of the worst teams in the league, Carolina Panthers. You have Bryce Young, Andy Dalton as your freaking backup. They got some decent running backs, of course. I mean, Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders. I mean, not bad running backs. And they got Blackshear as well. So, I mean, I don't know. They have a veteran receiver, Adam Thielen, still, of course. I don't know. Maybe the Carolina Panthers get more than 2 wins this year. I'll give them 3 wins max. It might be generous. Panthers, not much to say. They're bad. They're going to be rebuilding for a very long time. Next up on our wheel, we'll go ahead and spin it. Next team we're going to do, it'll be the Minnesota Vikings. So the Vikings, of course, J.J. McCarthy on their team is no longer starting. Now you have Sam Darnold, legendary Sam Darnold. My goodness. I don't even know. The Vikings are falling apart. It's been one of the worst off seasons of all time for the Vikings. I mean, of course, they're going to feed Justin Jefferson 24/7. They got Aaron Jones now, but how healthy can he be? We got Chai Chandler right behind him to back him up. TJ Hawkinson's hurt. Jordan Addison, is he going to play football, win? I mean, the team is... I give him 3 to 4 wins. I might have put him at 6 to 8, maybe almost 9. But I also don't even know how I feel about J.J. McCarthy if he would have even been starting as a healthy quarterback. Not much to say as well for the Vikings. They're in a lot of trouble. This team is ready for the next season already. Your Minnesota Vikings. maybe 3 to 4 games. Our next team we're spinning here right now will be... Oh my gosh. I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to do this team last, but we're spinning a wheel now. My Dallas Cowboys. So that my Dallas Cowboys finally decided to pay CeeDee Lamb. That was definitely the number one team, or excuse me, the number one player to re-sign was CeeDee Lamb. Micah Parsons better be the second guy on the list to get paid, and then Dak Prescott. I love Dak Prescott, but he is yet to earn that new contract. Micah Parsons, of course, needs a new contract because he's one of the best defense players in the league. I still think Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback. I think he's a machine, but he just can't win in the playoffs. He's a bottom, maybe top least. He's just one of the worst quarterbacks ever in the playoffs. I mean, my gosh, he just can't win a game. He's got 2, but still. He did end Tom Brady's career, so I will say that. No, but seriously, Dak Prescott needs to get his head out of his rear end when it comes to playoff time. So Dallas Cowboys do sign, of course, re-sign CeeDee Lamb. And people that keep sleeping is on Rico Dowdle, a great running back in my opinion. People literally don't understand how good Rico Dowdle is as a running back. And then, of course, now we signed Dalvin Cook. I think it's a great signing, personally. I think Dalvin Cook still has something to prove out there. I know it sounds insane, but I think him, Zeke, and Rico Dowdle in the backfield can be something. I still don't, obviously Zeke isn't the same, but I still think he can be a big portion in this backfield. Of course, don't even sleep on my boy Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn is super small, but man, he's fast. Brandon Cooks, still a legitimate, great wide receiver. Jake Ferguson and his amazing tight end. Unfortunately, the Cowboys do lose Bland on an injury, possibly out from, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. But of course, now we get Trayvon Diggs back. It'd be nice if these guys can both be in the backfield. I will be at the game between the Cowboys and Browns. Cannot wait to go to that one. I might get mauled by Cleveland fans. We never know. But honestly, I think Dallas does make the playoffs. I think luckily this year, they will not get 12 wins. But I think they'll finish between 10 and 11. I honestly think they'll be a 10 and 17. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform. They will make the wild card, but they will not win the division. But this year, they will win a playoff game. Book it. Your Dallas Cowboys, my Dallas Cowboys, a playoff team, 10 or 11 wins. Next up on the wheel spin, the team that we'll be choosing is, oh boy, the New York Jets. The New York Jets, man, what a downfall of a season it was last year with Aaron Rodgers lasting maybe a couple drives, and then he was hurt. But now they have completely reloaded on offense and defense. With the Jets this year, I think they can be legitimate playoff contenders. They have the longest drought in the league, I believe since 2010, if I'm correct, of missing the playoffs. This team is bound for a playoff spot. Now, of course, Aaron Rodgers, can he stay healthy? How long will Aaron Rodgers be able to play? They only have one backup quarterback, and it's Tyrod Taylor. So they need some help, really, in that quarterback depth in case Aaron Rodgers is unavailable again. Like I said, this team is loaded at the receiving spot. You have Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, and Allen Lazard, the top 3 receivers right there. But yeah, I mean, this team is bound for greatness. Don't even sleep on... You got Tyler Conklin at tight end, but don't even sleep on my Buckeye boy, Jeremy Rucker. That dude's a stud. He deserves the ball a lot. This team is a great defensive back team. They're studs. I mean, this team is bound for greatness. I don't think they get 13 wins, though. I don't believe it. I think this team will be an 11 or 12 team win. I think Aaron Rodgers does stay healthy. Hopefully. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan at all. I hate to say that, but I want to see the Jets succeed. There's no reason I can hate the Jets, and I also love Garrett Wilson since he's a Buckeye as well. So really, I think the Jets are a great, legitimate contender to make a run in the playoffs, but with their experience, I don't know. Either way, Jets are a playoff team. I don't think they're an AFC Conference Championship type of team, but they will make the divisional round. They're New York Jets. Next up on the wheel spin, we've got the Cleveland Browns. Now, with the Cleveland Browns, pretty good team, adding Jerry Jeudy to that wide receiver core. Jerry Jeudy, I think, can be seriously good still. I think he's really missing out on his career. I think he's wasted a couple years. But he's here now with the Browns. Hopefully Deshaun Watson can get him the ball, but hopefully not week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. But he's bound to go off against the Dallas Cowboys for no reason. Who knows? But I think the Browns are a playoff team once again. If Deshaun Watson can stay out of trouble and not do stupid stuff off the field. But, you got 2 Alabama natives, Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy, right beside each other. Eventually, they'll get Nick Chubb back. How healthy can he be? Because, man, if they get him back and he stays healthy for the rest of the year, I know he's bound to be out for at least 4 weeks, but Jerome Ford, right back, running back. He's tough back there. He can make plays, and I think he's a beast, honestly. But yeah, I think the Browns, I think David Njoku also is a big player that they need on offense. He can make good plays, and yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about the Browns, but I still think they're a good team. I give them 10 wins. 10 wins at the max. They'll just sneak into the playoffs as a wild card, but I do believe, though, they'll be a first-round exit. Just my opinion, but maybe they can make a little run. We've seen it before. Your Cleveland Browns, playoff team, but a first-round exit. Next up on the wheel spin, we will have the San Francisco 49ers. I hate this team. So San Fran, once again, they own the Packers, and then the Packers own the Cowboys. But the Chiefs also own the 49ers. The 49ers, one of the greatest teams in the league. Christian McCaffrey, of course, your leading fantasy back, your amazing running back in general. Brandon Ayuk gets his deal that I believe he deserves. I still believe that Brandon Ayuk is a better wide receiver than Deebo Samuel. George Kittle's an overrated tight end, but he's still good. Either way, I think this is an easy, quick one right here. 13 to 17 wins. I give the 49ers 14. Yeah, we'll go either 13 or 14 wins on the year. 49ers are a great team. They can't win a Super Bowl. I do believe it's going to be close. You know what? I might risk it. I say this team right here will be a divisional exit. They'll win their division. I think they get the number 1 seed in the NFC, but I don't know how they would lose at home. But I think this year it's going to happen. The Packers will defeat the 49ers in the playoffs. If the way the seeding goes, we'll see. I think, yeah, we'll give the 49ers a 1 seed, I think, in the NFC. But in the next round, or if they do play them, hopefully, either way, I believe the 49ers blow it. I think Brock Purdy has a bad game in the playoffs. I think the 49ers lose in the first round of the playoffs in the divisional round. I think they just have a drop-off year. They're going to have a great year by any means. But in the playoffs, it's not going to happen this year. Once again, the 49ers will let the city of San Francisco down and their fans that travel very well in the playoffs. Sorry, 49ers. I hate you a lot. It's not going to happen. Next up, we got my hometown, Ohio Cincinnati Bengals. So the Bengals have yet to pay Jamar Chase, but at the same time, I feel like Jamar Chase still has something to prove to get that contract. I think he's a great receiver, but dude, you're still on your rookie deal. You have 2 years still. Why do you think you need paid? And by a cent more than Justin Jefferson? Dude, get out of here. You're lucky to be top 5 wide receivers paid in the league, in my opinion. I think Jamar Chase is a great receiver. They're lucky to even have T. Higgins back on this team, but I think the Bengals fall off this year. Losing Joe Mixon, I'm a Joe Mixon fan, but I still don't think he's all that. He's a good running back, but he's just so inconsistent. Chase Brown and Zach Moss, though, could be good, a 1-2 punch. I think Cincinnati Bengals are not going to have the greatest season. I mean, you're in probably one of the best divisions in the NFL of the AFC North. It's a stacked division with the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers, all playoff teams. Maybe the Steelers, but still. The Bengals are a great team. Like I said, I haven't looked at anybody's schedules besides, of course, Dallas's. I really want to give the Bengals maybe 8 wins max. I think they get 9 or 10. They're going to be really close on a playoff spot. I don't know if they make it. We'll probably I might give all my playoff predictions at the end of this. I am doing a Super Bowl prediction winner. But the Bengals, they might miss the playoffs. If they do, they barely make it by maybe a tiebreaker. If not, they just miss out. The Bengals, you got to hope and pray Joe Burrow stays healthy because you're going to need him. If not, it's going to be another disaster in Cincinnati. And us Ohio football fans, we can't tolerate it anymore. The Bengals, good luck. We got a Florida native Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now this team is a pretty interesting team. The Buccaneers, usually, of course, they have one of the best receivers in the NFL, Mike Evans. Very consistent. He's a beast. Gets the job done. You got Rashid White in the backfield. Chris Godwin. I mean, this team is good. But I don't think they win the division this year. Because watch out for Atlanta. I have full faith in the Atlanta Falcons this year. One of my underrated, most hyped teams. I think everybody's really saying that anyway. The NFC South is bad, but it's kind of like a competitive bad. You know, we saw the Buccaneers lose to the Lions last year in the playoffs. I think the Buccaneers still have a decent team, but they're not a playoff team. I mean, it's kind of like Dallas. They'll get the job done in the regular season, but they'll be first-round exits in the playoffs. I think the Buccaneers get maybe 9 wins. I think. I'm going to go 9 wins max on the Buccaneers. They will not hit double digits. Baker Mayfield, I think he's a decent quarterback, but he's so overhyped at the same time, though. But yeah, I think the Buccaneers, I don't know. It's just like the same thing every year. I mean, of course, they had to go with Tom Brady. That saved them a little bit. They're okay, but they're not a playoff team. Buccaneers, good luck to you as well. It's like the same thing with the Bengals. They'll get in on a tiebreaker, or they'll just miss out. I don't know. But I love Florida teams. And I love Florida. But I don't love the Buccaneers. Next up, going up here on the wheel, will be the Arizona Marvin Harrison Cardinals. So the Cardinals here, obviously, of course, they have Marvin Harrison now on the team. Kyler Murray is back, but here's the thing. Black Ops 6 is about to release. I don't think we'll see much of Kyler Murray. I think the Cardinals are still not going to be a successful team, personally. I think I'm not a fan. Of course, they were bad last year. I think they're going to need a lot of help. I mean, Marvin can't do everything. We saw with Ohio State. They have Zay Jones, wide receiver 2. I think this team is going to be a 6 or 7 win team. No playoffs. They're rebuilding. James Conner's a great back, but he obviously can't do anything for the team. He can't do everything, is what I'm saying. But really not much to say with the Cardinals. I don't think they make the playoffs at all. 6 or 7 wins. That's about it. Arizona's still rebuilding, but man, cannot wait to watch Maserati Marv. Good luck, Arizona. You're going to need it. Next up on the wheel spin, we will have the Los Angeles Cheaters. All right, with the Chargers, they're going to suck. They're going to be so bad. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. This is going to be quick. Boom. 3 wins or 4. They're going to be bad. Who in the world is Justin Herbert throwing the freaking ball to? Joshua Palmer? Is that it? J.K. Dobbins is hurt all the time. I love him. You got what? Gus Edwards back there now, too. I don't even know how many running backs they have back there. The Chargers are going to be bad. Jim Harbaugh is going into an organization that's in full rebuild mode. I get it. I hate Jim Harbaugh. But yeah, the Chargers are lucky to get 3 or 4 wins. They're going to be awful. They're going to be bad. I have no faith in the Chargers, literally whatsoever. Not much to say. I hope they lose every game because I don't like Jim Harbaugh at all. Good luck, Chargers. Get Spygate going on because, man, you're in for a long ride. All right, so I just figured out that I can literally erase these names. I feel like an absolute idiot on this. So now, this will be easier to use. So next up on the wheel, we will have... What? Why doesn't it delete these? That is so stupid.
Come on, man. I mean, come on, man.
Like, bruh. Alright, so it's right beside... It was literally on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alright, so it's literally, like, on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're gonna go with that.
Oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class!
All right, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lots of crazy things happen this offseason with the Steelers, with Justin Fields going there and Russell Wilson. Now, I do believe Russell Wilson still somewhat deserves a starting quarterback role, but now they lost Deontay Johnson. George Pickens is a #1 wide receiver, and I don't really know how much I don't know why. There's a lot of people I talked about George Pickens, and they like. I'm not a George Pickett fan whatsoever. I think he's an overrated receiver. He probably could be better if he was somewhere else. But you got George Pickens, Van Jefferson, Bowling Green legend Scotty Miller on your team. Now, if I'm going to be honest with you, the whole rumor with Justin Fields returning kicks, I think that should be a thing. The dude's fast and athletic. I think he deserves to return kicks. That's just me. You got Najee Harris and then Jalen Warren in the backfield. Mike Tomlin is a great head coach. This dude doesn't know how to have losing seasons. But it might happen this year. This team is not very good. I'm going to go maybe 7 wins for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they will miss the playoffs, and they will have a losing season under Mike Tomlin. I don't think it's going to be a good year in Pittsburgh. I don't. Russell Wilson's trash. Justin Fields is learning the game still in the NFL. It's just not happening for Pittsburgh. They're in a tough division. It's just, I don't know. I'm not on the hype train for Pittsburgh. 7 wins at most, and I also just hate Pittsburgh. Hopefully I'll be there to watch Dallas win in Pittsburgh. I might eat my own words. Just free TJ Watt. Get him out of Pittsburgh. He needs to leave. All right, next team we're going for here will be, here it is, folks. Here it is, the Tennessee Titans. This is easily going to be the worst team in the NFL, my pick. The worst team easily will be the Tennessee Titans. They will win 2 games. That's it. The Tennessee Titans are going to be so bad. Will Levis is terrible. Calvin Ridley's all they got. Tony Pollard and then Spears in the backfield isn't the worst thing. And then DeAndre Hopkins is also hurt as well, but I think everybody knows DeAndre Hopkins he's just not there. Treylon Burks isn't a bad receiver, though. But this team is going to be so bad. I mean, folks, the Tennessee, with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph, it is over for Tennessee. Derrick Henry's gone. It is time to clean house in Tennessee. Not much to say. The only thing to say is that they will be the worst team in the National Football League. Goodbye, Titans. It was nice knowing you. Next up on our wheel, we will have the Miami Dolphins. All right, so the Miami Dolphins, pretty tough team. They will make the playoffs once again. I think they will be a 11 or 12 win team. They got Jalen Waddle, of course, Tyreek Hill. They're studs with running backs that aren't big name running backs. I guess A-Chain's getting in there. Raheem Mostert had a great year. You signed Odell. That's just stupid in my opinion. He's already hurt and not playing football. What do you know? But like I said, I think this team they got 2 stud receivers though that are starting. I don't know how feel about any of their other receivers, honestly, but they're still a tough team. I mean, they are fast. Tua is really getting better every year. But I don't think they go far in the playoffs. They won't go as deep as last year when they played the Chiefs, but I think they might be a first-round exit. But winning the division, maybe. I don't know. All I gotta say is that the Bills will not win the division this year. It's not happening. But I don't know. The Dolphins will either finish second or third. I don't know. I don't think they win the division. It might be the Jets. I don't know. But it's going to be close. Like I said, Dolphins, either they're a division-winning team as a 3 or 4 seed in the AFC, or they make the wild card. Either way, I think Miami will lose. I mean, if they're home, they might win their first playoff game. But if they go on the road, it's not happening for the Miami Dolphins. They will freeze to death if they're playing outside in the cold somewhere in the playoffs. Either way, doesn't matter if it's under 40-something degrees, 45, whatever it is. Tua can't win that temperature. Dolphins, good luck, but you're not making a run. Next up on our wheel spin, we got... Oh boy. The Houston Red Hot Texans. The Texans went from one of the worst teams in the league about, what, maybe 2 years ago now, I think? 2 years ago, whatever. One of the worst rosters in the league. They were so bad. Now, they're probably one of my favorite offenses in the NFL. C.J. Stroud, throwing to Michigan native Nico Collins, Tank Dell. Now you got Stephon Diggs. You got Joe Mixon. You even have Dalton Schultz, Cowboy legend Dalton Schultz. Kind of like a Jason Witten type dude. He gets open. He's not fast, but he's good and reliable. This team is stacked. They are stacked. They're going to win the division. I'm getting behind the hype train. I hope C.J. Stroud, just for some reason, doesn't have a sophomore slump. You know, of course, from Ohio State quarterbacks, how can you trust them? You know, they just haven't been good. I mean, they haven't. This team also has great running backs. You have Joe Mixon, like I said. You still have Dameon Pierce. Someone needs to study his downfall. And then you also have Cam Akers now, which I did not even know that. When did Cam Akers go to Houston? I don't know. I'm a football fan, but man, I missed that one. There's been so much things that's happened in the league, I've lost track. But man, this team is loaded. This team is great. They're not in the greatest division. Texans will get 13 exact wins this season. They will make the playoffs, but they will lose, I think, either a divisional or AFC championship game. It's going to be close. I don't know. But either way, they will not win the Super Bowl, but they're going to make a good run in the playoffs. Texans, I love Dallas more, but man, you're the better team. Rooting for you all the way, and of course, rooting for my man, C.J. Stroud. Your Houston Texans, a 13-win team, either a divisional loss or an AFC championship loss. If I had to pick one, I'm going to go with divisional. Your Houston Texans, 13 wins. All right, next up on our list, we got the Baltimore Ravens. All right, so the Ravens are a great team, of course. Now you got Derrick Henry in the backfield. Everybody's going to be running the ball in Baltimore, but they've yet to still get that one stud receiver. They've not had it for years. I don't even remember Mark Andrews is great, but he's getting older, and he's just not as much of a threat to that offense, in my opinion. He's not that dominant as he was. I still think they're a great team. I think they're a 12-win team. Exactly 12, if not maybe 11. They're good, but they're kind of like Dallas. They go farther in the playoffs, but they can't get it done. And that is because Lamar needs that receiver. He needs a star receiver. None of these super fast and pretty short slot guys. I mean, Zay Flowers cannot get the job done for Baltimore. I mean, they need a CeeDee Lamb. They need a Tyreek Hill. They need somebody reliable on that receiving core, because the receiving core just has made me puke for years, and that's what they've been missing every single year. Rashad Bateman, not getting the job done. Nelson Aguilar, are you kidding? I mean, this receiving core is just awful. It's not good. It's why the Ravens cannot win a lot of games. They have one of the greatest kickers in all of the league, still, of course, Justin Tucker, and they are just loaded with running backs, but they cannot get receivers. It makes me so disappointing because I like Baltimore. I like Lamar. But man, Ravens, they're not getting it done. They will win the division, though. Somehow, like, this team just gets it done. They really do. Harbaugh is a great coach, but they just can't get it done. They're not going to get it done at all. They might be they're either going to be a 3 or 2 seed. If they're a 2 seed, they might make the AFC Championship game. If not, if they're a 3 seed, they might win the wild card round. But either way, I believe the Ravens lose the divisional round. They've choked for years. They can't get it done. Baltimore, get some receivers. That's all I got to say. Ravens, just keep dreaming. All right, next up on our list, we will have, oh boy, the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so the Philadelphia Eagles, I hate this team so freaking much. I hate them a lot. Dak owns this team. Don't care what anyone says, unless it's in Philly sometimes. But I believe Dak is 8-3, if I'm correct. I'd have to fact check it against Philadelphia. I don't know. Unfortunately, the Eagles will have a great year. You got Saquon Barkley. Now you have Jahan Dotson. I mean, that offense is just loaded. I mean, if Dallas Goedert can also stay healthy for this team, I mean, this team is just stacked. I mean, offensively, they are going to be tough to beat. I don't know. I mean, losing Mr. Kelsey at center, of course, does hurt, but I still think their offensive line is going to be really tough. I think this team will win the NFC East because no one can win it back-to-back years. Flip-flop between the Eagles or Dallas now for how many years? Since Dallas won it last year, of course, the Eagles will win it this year. I think the Eagles, I'm getting behind the hype train, of course, unfortunately. I think 13 or 14 wins max. I think they turn it around after last year's just fall off that no one understands. It's not going to happen this year. This team's going to be tough, and they're going to make a run to the playoffs. That's all I got to say. You'll find out later. Eagles, I hate you. It's going to be tough to beat you. 13, 14 wins max for Philly. Next up on the wheel here, we will have the Jacksonville Jaguars. A pretty interesting team here for Jacksonville. They got rid of Calvin Ridley, of course. They got a pretty decent team still. I think Trevor is way better than Mac Jones. Everybody knows that. He's going to be the starter for the whole year. You got Gabe Davis. It's not bad. Christian Kirk is okay. Evan Ingram's an amazing tight end, but I don't know. I'm not really frowned upon with the Jaguars. I don't think they make the playoffs either. I'm going to go 8 wins max for Jacksonville. I just don't think they're going to be very good at all. They're not going to get it done. They're not. I think they missed the playoffs this year, like I said. I would say 9 wins max for this team. Not much really to say. I don't know. Jacksonville, good luck. Like I've said to a lot of teams that I don't believe in, but it's just not happening. I miss Saxonville. That team was amazing with Blake Bortles. But man, Trevor Lawrence, not the biggest fan, but he's good, but he needs to get better. Jacksonville, it's not happening. Next up, we're getting closer to the end of this wheel here. We will have the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders, you got Gardner Minshew. Nice. I think everybody loves Gardner Minshew, but we know he's not good. He's not great. Then I have Zamir White, of course, on the team, and also Alexander Madison in that backfield, legendary. Devontae Adams, you got Jacoby Myers. I mean, of course, you got Max Crosby, one of the best defensive players in the league. I'm not a Raiders hype fan at all. I'm just gonna say 6 or 7 wins. This team sucks still. It's not good. They need a quarterback. I personally believe, though, I think after this year, if Dallas does not re-sign Dak, he will be a Raider. And that is my bold prediction. If Dallas does not re-sign Dakota Prescott, he will be a Las Vegas Raider. 100%. Book it right now. I guarantee you it happens. I believe in it, sadly. Trey Lance is not the answer. He sucks. He's terrible. He can run. That's about it. 5 interceptions against the Chargers in that preseason game is just disgusting. But anyway, the Las Vegas Raiders, they missed the playoffs. They're not good at all. They're going to be bad. Free Devontae Adams. Dak Prescott, you're a Raider next year. Book it now. Next up on our wheel spin, we will have, oh boy, the Detroit Lions. One of the best offenses now as well in the NFL. As long as Jared Goff stays consistent, this team is insane. I loved the game between the Lions and Dallas. It was amazing. It was actually very bad officiating, but the Lions got the better half of it and went to the NFC Championship game. Of course, they also lose to the 49ers. But still, Lions, they will not win the NFC North. They will not. It's not going to happen. But they will make the wild card. They'll make the playoffs. Lions will be a 12-win team this season. They will win in a wild card game, I think. I think they may or may not make the NFC Championship game this year. I think They definitely will make that. I just don't think they'll make that deep of a run from last year. I think they're still going to be a great team, but I still think they will come up a game shorter than last year. I give them to the divisional round. The Lions are a 12-team max win, but they're not going to get it done in the playoffs again. But they'll get another playoff win for that city of Detroit. Lions, we love you. They're going to come up short again. But this time, just a little bit short. All right, next up on our wheel spin, we will have Kansas City Chiefs. The question of the day, can we get a three-peat with the Kansas City Chiefs? First of all, they'll finish with 13 wins. Chiefs are going to be tough, of course. You got Xavier Worthy now. You got Rashid Rice following it up. Marquise Brown, at least right now, is out for a week, they say. Travis Kelce, he's still great. This defense is good. Yeah. I think I don't see why they don't make the Super Bowl again. I don't see why not. I think there's only one team standing in the way, and it's probably the Texans. I don't know if anyone else is really going to stand in the way in the AFC, really. I think the AFC is falling off just a tad. I think the NFC might be a bit better this year, but I don't know. I mean, it's almost perfectly balanced, but I think right now, I just think there's only one team standing in the way, and that might be the Texans, but they're still kind of a young team still, so they have some vets on the team now adding on, so we'll see. Either way, Chiefs, they're good. I'll let you know if they win the Super Bowl again. Either way, I hate Taylor Swift. That's it. All right, next up on our wheel, we have got, hey look, the Washington Redskins. So the Commanders, they got rid of Jahan Dotson, like we said earlier, to the Eagles. And now, Jaden Daniels, from LSU quarterback. I think someone who's going to have a year that they deserve that to be good. They're always good still. Is Mr. Terry McLaurin. But now they also have Noah Brown, 2 Ohio State wide receivers. The Commanders, I think, are going to be a decent team. Austin Eckler's old, but maybe he'll get some up his sleeve and he'll still be decent. I think this team wins at least maybe 7 or 8 games. They're young. They will miss the playoffs, but they're gonna have a decent year. I think they might be 8-9 or 7-10. Heck, they might have a chance to maybe win 9 games. I don't know. Either way, I think the Commanders are still decent. I think they're a decent team. I don't like Washington, of course, but this team isn't bad though. There's actually a lot of players I really like on this team a lot. But they're gonna come up short. But they're rebuilding. Commanders, can you also just do another thing? Get a new stadium. Your fans are getting injured going to games. Come on. The team's rebuilding. Now rebuild a new stadium. Your Commanders. Next up, we have got the Denver Broncos. So Denver in rebuild mode, of course, as well. Bo Nix is now quarterback for Denver, and I actually might get behind the hype train of Bo Nix. I think he's actually a solid QB. He really improved with Oregon than he was with Auburn, of course, but this team isn't bad, but they're rebuilding. They don't really have any receivers besides Cortland Sutton, in my opinion. I mean, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims, no. I mean, it's just, This team is really low on depth. The running backs are not great. I mean, Javonte Williams is good, but they have just, I don't know. They're a young team. I think this team, I want to give them 6 wins, but I almost want to give them 5. I think we'll go 5 wins. They might get 6. Denver Broncos. It's going to be tough. We're going to get majority of the wins, I think, from the division. Like I said, I haven't looked at much anyone's schedule. I'm going to go 5 wins with Denver. I really want to give them 6, but it's Denver. They lost Jerry Jeudy too, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not a big Denver guy. They've been bad for years now. Not much to say, but they're rebuilding. Maybe they'll get better. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Denver Broncos, 5 or 6 wins. All right, next up on our wheel spin, we will have New Orleans Saints. So the Saints, they're in a tough, competitive division in the NFC South. Derek Carr is just okay. I don't know. I know how much just imagine if they had Michael Thomas. That's all I gotta say. We missed Michael Thomas, but Chris Olave has took his spot, another Buckeye. They're not a bad team. Their offense is inconsistent as it gets. Alvin Kamara is still, he's good. Now you got Jamal Williams. as well too. I think was he there last year? I don't even know. I don't know if he was there last year. Yeah, he was there last year. I'm sorry. That's right. But either way, the Saints, not a bad team. I give them 7 or 8 wins. They missed the playoffs. They will not win the division. They're just inconsistent. I can't get behind the Saints at all. I love the city of New Orleans. They added Chase Young to the defensive line. Hopefully he can really get back to an old self like they did with Commanders. But either way, Saints will come up short. They might finish 3rd or 2nd in the division. They're going to miss the playoffs. They're just a 500 team at best. Not much going on in New Orleans. All right, next up on our spin will be the Giants. Oh, the New York Giants. This team sucks so bad. I love it that they just have so much faith in Daniel Jones still. Why is he still a quarterback for the Giants? Why does he have a job? It's laughable. It's so laughable. This team, maybe 3 wins. Maybe 3. This team sucks so bad. I love it. I hate the Giants. I love how bad they are. I love their fall off. It's amazing. I'm confused how they made the playoffs 2 years ago. How did that happen? I don't know. Saquon's gone. Malik Neighbors is all you got. The team sucks. Devin Singletary is your leading back. This team is laughable. Probably, they're literally, I give them more wins to the Titans, but this team is just so laughable. It's so amazing how bad they are. The team is terrible. They're going to be terrible. Giants, just sell the organization. It's over. All right, we're counting down. We are getting closer and closer. We now will get the Seattle Seahawks. All right, the one thing, and there is one problem right now in Seattle that I just don't think a lot of people understand. Get Geno Smith out of there. You guys need a quarterback. Geno Smith is seriously not the answer. I want to know why people I love Geno Smith. He's awesome, but he's just not the answer for Seattle. He's not. He's not going to win you big games. It's just not going to happen. I mean, my gosh. I mean, they have Geno Smith and Sam Howell. Are you kidding me? This team will miss the playoffs. I give them 7 or 8 wins. That's it. This team is just not the answer. They can't get it done. I'm not a big Seattle guy, but my gosh, this team has so much potential. But the other thing that does hurt is injuries. With Kenneth Walker, how healthy can he be? I mean, Zach Charbonnet, he's also a great back. Really, he is. It's just, you have DK Metcalf, Smith Najigba, and Tyler Lockett, 3 stud receivers. I mean, this team has a pretty decent offense, but they're just mediocre. They're just so mediocre. They're 500 or just a tad bit better. I give them maybe 8 or 9 wins at max. Seattle, please get a quarterback. Geno Smith will not get you anywhere. Ever. All right, we're down to 6 teams to go. Next up, we will have the Green Bay Packers. I've never paid attention to the colors. I think, yeah, the colors make no sense. I just now noticed that. But, I hate this team. I hate this team so much. I can't stand Green Bay. I don't like them. I hate this team. They own us. They own Dallas. Man, got the quarterback. Again, why is it so easy for them? I don't get it. Green Bay, they will return and take over the NFC North. Truly believe it. I'm going to give them 13 wins. I think they get 13 wins or 12 or 13. They will win the North by they'll be either tied maybe with the Lions, or they'll be a game ahead, of course. I think the Packers are tough. They're back. The receivers, I think they're going to get better as a team. And now I think Josh Jacobs is going to have a fantastic year. I think he's going to be back to his own self. Definitely a blow losing A.J. Dillon, but at the same time, I think he's so overrated anyway. I don't think it's much of a loss. But yeah, Packers playoff team, possibly an NFC title contender, maybe even a Super Bowl. I don't know. I hate to say it, but I'm getting behind the hype train for Green Bay. They're going to be tough to beat. Winning in Lambeau ain't easy for other teams in the cold. That's all I got to say. Packers might be one of the hottest teams in the NFL, right with the Texans. Going to be a fun matchup in Week 1, Friday night, this week, between the Packers and Eagles. I hope they tie. I hate both teams. I hope they just lose together. Or if they even get off the bus, because Brazil is dangerous. It's going to be a scary game, but I seriously hope everyone stays safe, because, man, it doesn't sound good in Brazil right now at all. But either way, sure. All right, next up, my beloved Atlanta Falcons. This is the hype train of the year, folks. Kirk Cousins is going to save the city of Atlanta. Drake London's going to get what he deserves. Kyle Pitts is going to get what he deserves. Bijan Robinson is going to get what he deserves. The Falcons are back, folks. They are NFC South champs. Boom. 10-7 on the year. Kirk Cousins revives the city, but they will not go far in the playoffs. But if there is a team that they will beat in the playoffs and host, well, they will host a playoff game since they're a division champ. If they host a playoff game, it'll be against Dallas, and they will win. Atlanta will win. They will. They will win if they host a playoff game against Dallas. But if it's against anybody else, they will lose. I'm gonna make my prediction there now. If they were to host that playoff game against Dallas, Atlanta will win that one and only playoff game. But if not, their first round wild card exits. They'll be great in the season, but if it's against playoff time, they will fold a game or two. Either way, I'm behind the hype train for Atlanta. They're going to get it done. They're going to be 10-7. I think the Buccaneers will be 9-8. They're going to get it done. They're going to win the South. I'm all behind the Kirk Cousins chain. The final 4 teams left. We are going to start with the Indianapolis Colts. My legitimate number 2 hype team train I'm getting on. I actually truly believe the Colts are going to make the playoffs this year. 100%. And hopefully Anthony Richardson stays healthy. Jonathan Taylor hopefully stays healthy. And feed Michael Pittman the ball. Now, I do believe, though, they're kind of missing another receiver. I mean, Josh Downs is... I believe he's a stud, too. I believe he's going in his second year. But, I mean... Alec Pierce, though, not a bad receiver either, honestly. Pretty decent. But I think they'll be first-round exits in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make a run, but I think they're going to be second in the division. I'm going to go either 9 or 10 wins right there. I just think they're going to be decent. I believe the Colts will make the playoffs, but they will be first-round wildcard exits. Not much to say a lot for this team. Underrated as heck. Like I said, I don't think the AFC is going to be super great this year. It's still a tough conference, of course, but I'm going to go 9 to 10 wins. They're going to be a first-round exit in the playoffs. That's all I got to say. They're just not experienced enough. They're young. But the Colts, they're rebuilding well. I think they're going to be good, but not good enough. 3 teams to go, and we are going to go with the Rams. Now, with a lot of the hype of Puka Nacua, I still think Cooper Kupp is the better receiver, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree with that, but Puka, my gosh, however you say his name, Puka Nacua will have a great year still, of course. I think a guy that can also get experience a lot with his team will be Blake Corum, running back from Michigan. Him and Kyron Williams is a good 1-2 punch. I mean, heck. I think this team will be fairly decent still. Hopefully Matthew Stafford can stay healthy. And, yeah, I mean, this team is still pretty decent. Playoffs? Yeah. They'll make the playoffs. The Rams will make the playoffs. Once again, they're going to be joining a 9-12 team win column. I think they get 10 wins. 10-7 sounds reasonable for this squad, and maybe 11-6. But yeah, I think the Rams get it done. I don't think they make a run in the playoffs, really. I'd say they might win a game, depending where they're at. Whoever they play the first round, I think they can win at least one game. I think they can win at least one. If not, I mean, I think they'll be divisional round exits. Hopefully, Cooper Kupp can stay healthy as well from his injury last year from missing time. But Rams, divisional round, but it's just NFC title game. That's a reach, a lot of reach, in my opinion. I can't even picture it. Rams, you're good, not bad, but no Super Bowl. Due to go with divisional rivals here. I hate it how there's 3 spots. And we are going to go with the second worst team in the league, maybe the third worst. Patriots. It's bad, folks. It is so bad. But man, you love to see it. You really do. You love to see it a lot. Jacoby Brissett was named starter a couple days ago. I mean, this team is just filthy disgusting. Oh, it's awful. I think they have maybe one of the worst receiving cores in all of national football. But it's the Patriots. I think they get 3 wins, 3 or 4. That's it. I don't think they're going to be a 2-win team. I think that's really pushing it just because it's New England. Because I mean, you'll have those games. I mean, it's not going to be good for New England. 3 wins max. I almost want to give them 2, but they'll win at least 3 games. Now, let's just say this team is in full rebuild mode. They're really bad. It's just not going to be it for me. That's about it. And last but not least, the Buffalo Bills. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think I might this team right here, I will take the most slander for where I'm about to put them. Who in the world is Josh Allen throwing the ball to? Curtis Samuel? Coleman, the rookie? I mean, this team, his number 1 receiver is 100% going to be Dalton Kincaid. And that's, of course, his tight end. This team is going to finish 3rd in the AFC East. Third at best. They will not get 2nd. They won't. It's most likely, I think it's going to be the Dolphins or Jets, of course. Obviously. It's not going to be the Patriots. But I still think the Dolphins might win the division, just because they're younger. But I think the Jets' experience, they actually might take it, only if Aaron Rodgers, of course, stays healthy. Bills. No playoffs. 3rd place. Bang. I'm actually kind of glad we did them last, because I think that was the most team that I had that is going to have a downfall. I just believe it. I don't think the Bills are going to be good. I think they're going to be bad. Not bad. Mediocre for sure. They're lucky to go. I think the best is, of course, here is 8-9. They might even go 7-10. This team, Josh Allen cannot do everything for this team. He can't. I mean, James Cook is a phenomenal running back. I just don't think the Bills have it in them. They lost Diggs. No more Gabe Davis. I mean, Gabe Davis was inconsistent, but I am not about the Bills Mafia this year. I'm not. I might get thrown through a table just by saying that, but it's just the facts. This team is not going to be very good. They've lost a lot of talent. It's just not going to happen this year, folks. It's not going to happen. But that is about it. But last thing, of course, like I said, we have to pick a Super Bowl winner. Now, I'm probably not going to go through a lot. I guess I said some teams that I believe that are going to make the playoffs. But if I had to choose a team that is going to win the Super Bowl, and this is all a bunch of hate again, I don't even want to say it because how much it makes me want to people I believe is going to win the Super Bowl. But the first thing I want to get out of the way, Chiefs are not winning 3 in a row. I just don't think it's going to happen. They're a fantastic team. I hate them, but I think they might make the Super Bowl again. But vengeance will be done. Your Super Bowl champs, it's Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to happen. The Eagles will win the Super Bowl. I believe they defeat the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. The Chiefs will defeat, I want to say, Texans in the AFC Championship game. I just don't know if the experience is going to get them that far. They might be, I don't want to say it. They may play the Jets in the AFC Championship game, possibly, if they stay healthy, of course. But either way, I have the Eagles defeating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, getting the revenge from 2 seasons ago. I think it's going to happen. Eagles, Super Bowl champs, folks. Hate to say it. It's a prediction. I'll make a video again, of course, coming back to this after the season and how bad this is. But this was a lot of fun to do, folks. Very something different to do. I plan on doing this yearly now. But yeah, this is it. This is my predictions. And sorry, my Cowboys, it's just not happening again. Either way, guys, this is a lot of fun. Of course, roast me, make fun of me, whatever you got to do. I don't care. This is my opinion. It's a lot of fun. Everyone has their opinion. This is literally a blast to do. I seriously cannot get over how much fun this actually was doing. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This was a lot of fun, and definitely going to come back later and check this out. At the end of the year, we'll make another video on it and see how we did. And Feel free to give a like to the video, sub to the channel, or follow the Facebook or TikTok at BWSman12, and leave your opinion in the comments. I'd love to read them. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy it. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.